These are the examples for Geometry A, Credit 2, Lesson 2.2. All right, in Lesson 2.2, we're going to be doing reflections. And the first reflection that we're going to take a look at is a reflection over the line y equals x. Now, y equals x is a line that where every point on the line, the x and the y coordinate are the same. So like 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, even with the negatives, negative 1, negative 1, negative 2, negative 2. So that line, if you connected all those points, would look like this. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to reflect this figure, ABC, over that line. So points B and C will come to this side of the line, and point A will go to the other side, as we'll see. Now, the rules for the reflections are all at the top of the page, top right-hand corner there of page 18. So let's take a look for the reflection y over the line y equals x. The rule is xy becomes yx. And so what that means is we're just going to switch the x and the y coordinates. So for A, if A is 2, 1, A prime would be 1, 2. If B, again, this is our pre-image, what we have up here, is negative 2, negative 1, B prime would be negative 1, negative 2. And then finally, C prime is negative 3 and 4. So that would be 4 and negative 3. And so let's go ahead and plot those points. We'll do that in a different color, just so that it hopefully stands out. So A is at 1 and 2, or sorry, A prime is at 1 and 2. So 1 to the right and 2 up. That'll be our A prime. B prime is at negative 1, negative 2. So that'll be our B prime. And then finally, C prime is at 4, negative 3. So that would be 4 to the right and then 3 down. And that would be our C prime. Let's move that over to here. All right, so now we're going to connect those points, and we'll see that that is a reflection over the line y equals x. So again, we can draw that, or well, not draw, but put the ruler in there to represent the line. And we can see if you kind of turn your head at that 45-degree angle, you can see that these are a reflection over that line y equals x. So that's how you do that. Now, the other reflection, another reflection we're going to take a look at is a reflection over the x, or excuse me, we'll do y-axis first. And so a reflection over the y-axis, and the rule for that is xy becomes negative x and y. So let's go ahead and erase these points here and see how that works. All right, let's get rid of our graph. So we're ready to go with that. All right, so if the rule is xy becomes negative x and y, what that means is we're not switching the order of the points. In fact, the only thing that's going to change is the sign of the x coordinate. And the way that's often read is xy becomes negative x and y, as we said. But a better way to think of that is instead of negative x is opposite x. And that's because it doesn't necessarily mean, it makes it sound like all these will be negative. And while that's possible, it's not necessarily true, as we'll see. What it does mean is that the x coordinate is going to change its sign. So let's take a look at that. And the y coordinate will just stay what it is. So let's take a look for A prime. So remember, the x coordinate is changing its sign. The y coordinate is not. So positive 2 becomes negative 2. The y coordinate stays the same. Here for B, on B prime, negative 2 becomes positive 2. The y coordinate stays negative 1. Finally, for C prime, negative 3, the x coordinate becomes a positive 3. The y coordinate stays the same. And so notice on all three of these, the x coordinate changed its sign either from positive to negative or negative to positive, where the y coordinate stayed the same. So let's go ahead and plot those points. And again, we'll use a different color so that it stands out. So our first ordered pair is negative 2 and 1. So that would be 2 to the left and 1 up. that is our A prime. And let's see, we'll put it over here. 2 and negative 1 is our B prime. So 2 to the right, 1 down. And then finally, 3 and 4, 3 to the right and 4 up is our C prime. And so we connect those points, and we can see that that is a reflection over the y-axis. Now, the y-axis is here, but just to kind of emphasize that, we'll let the edge of the ruler be the y-axis, and we can see that symmetry, hopefully, over the y-axis, where it's the opposite image on both sides of the line, even though the images overlap. Let's draw that in a little bit better. All right, so that's a reflection over the y-axis. Finally, we'll take a look at a reflection over the x-axis. Now, the rule for that is very similar. So for the x-axis, it's xy becomes x negative y. So instead of x being the opposite sign, y is going to be the opposite sign. And as we said earlier, a better way to read that is x opposite y. So the x coordinate will stay the same. The y coordinate will change its sign. So let's take a look and see what that looks like. And let's again get rid of our drawing here. So we're ready to go. Hopefully there's not too many smudges there. Maybe we'll make that a little bit better. There we go. Okay. All right, so now, so a reflection over the x-axis, the x-coordinate stays the same, the y-coordinate changes its sign, so positive 1 to negative 1. B prime, same thing, x-coordinate stays the same, y-coordinate changes its sign, so negative 1 becomes positive 1. Finally, for C prime, again, x-coordinate stays the same, y-coordinate changes its sign. And so again, on all three of those, the x-coordinate, the 2's, the negative 2's, the negative 3's stayed the same. The y-coordinate is what's changed its sign. 1 to negative 1, negative 1 to positive 1, and 4 to negative 4. All right, so plotting those points, and we have A prime at 2 and negative 1. So 2 to the right, 1 down. That'll be our A prime. Negative 2 and 1, so 2 to the left, 1 up. That'll be our B prime. And finally, negative 3, negative 4, 3 to the left, and then 4 down, that will be our C prime. And we're going to connect those points. And again, this is a reflection over the x-axis, and this is the x-axis here. And you can see that this is you can see the opposite or mirror reflection over the x-axis. All right, those are the examples for 2.2. Again, pause, rewind the video as needed, and good luck with the work. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care, and God bless.